Byabakama, make that make sense.
Yeah.
That people who registered from the village that later culminated into a national register, this is not the same register that is not going to be used in the LC1 elections.
Well, first of all, the distinction or the difference is a creation of the law. It's the law that says that for the administrative units or village or parish level elections, the Electoral Commission shall generate or prepare or mobilize the village register for residents of that village. Which means, therefore, the register that will be in use is not the National Voters Register. And the criteria is even different. For the National Voters Register, for you to participate in the elections by secret ballot or universal adult suffrage, the law says you can vote at a polling station in the parish of your origin or where you are born or where you reside, of your residence, either of the two. But the criteria for you to get on the register of a village is you must be a resident of that village. You may be born in Fort Portal, Canary, but by all accounts, you're not a resident of your home village. You are a resident in Kampala, where your workstation is. So you qualify to vote from your place of residence where you reside currently, and that is Kampala. So that is the criteria. So we are telling the people that even if you voted for the president, members of parliament, and so on, in these recently concluded general elections, that does not qualify you to become a voter in the LOC elections. You must register in the village register. If you don't, please, you'll not be allowed, one, to participate as a voter on the 28th for LOC1 or on the 23rd of July for the women and councils and committees elections in the village. Secondly, you cannot offer yourself as a candidate because you're not a member of the village council. And thirdly, you will not be liable or eligible to be chosen or nominated by the chairperson as a member of her executive committee on the village. And fourthly, when the village council is sitting to deliberate on matters of their village, you will not be eligible to participate. So go out and register. The NVR or National Voters Register is aside. And therefore, for that matter, since this is a manually generated register, we are not going to even use photos. No. We are not going to use biometrics. No. Just your name and your NIN number if you have a national ID, because the national ID is what confirms you're a citizen. Mind you, non-citizens are not part of this process. This is specifically for citizens of this country. And secondly, you must be 18 years and above.
Is it possible that I can be residing in more than one village?
Yeah, there are those who have more than one wife. That's true. There are those who have more than one home. You see, the law has come out specifically. You know, the term residence is not defined anywhere in the Local Government Act. Neither is it defined anywhere in the Constitution. But you know, when any word or term or phrase is not defined by the law, which specifies that phrase, we revert to the courts of law. And the courts have, I think, attempted to define that ordinary residence means a person is deemed to be ordinarily resident at such a place where in the settled routine of his or her life, in the settled routine of his or her life, the settled routine of Canary's life is to leave home, come to NBS, and work.
And who is there to monitor that?
He or she regularly, normally, or customarily leaves. You get me? So there must be some degree of continuity. And the court went on to say that I think the court went on to say, all that is required for a residence to be one's ordinary residence is the individual's purpose of living where he or she does. There must be a sufficient degree of continuity to enable it to be properly described as settled. So the question is, where do you ordinarily reside on a continuous basis, where you carry out your activities either from home to the place of work and back home? There must be some level of continuity.
This recent voter register update was conducted in just 5 days.
Yeah.
How are you ensuring the registers are accurate, complete, and free from manipulation or even exclusion of eligible residents?
You know, according to the law, Canary, that for every election where the Electoral Commission updates the voters register, the next act or process is displaying the register. Now, on the 13th and 14th of July, the Electoral Commission will be displaying all these registers at every village. The display simply means the village election official will sit at that spot and have the register in front of him or her. Kandare Mugisha, or Byabakama Mugenyi will come and say, I want to check on the register for a village. Check. First of all, is my name there? Because I registered to vote from here. Oh, yes, it is. And two, but I see Hajati Narukeya here. She's not a resident of our village. I know her. She's from the neighboring village. How did she come to register here as a voter? This must be removed. There is a form which we are going to avail, of forms at every polling station, where anyone who is questioning the eligibility or the residence of a particular individual who appears on the register, we record that name, and then it will be taken up for purposes of deleting the names, just like we do in the general elections. That National Voters Register, before we issue the final polling register, we take it through that cleansing process of display. For instance, someone could have been registered the other day. You know, Canary people die every day. Someone could have been registered yesterday. By 13th or 14th, by God's hand, the person is no longer with us. You didn't attend the burial. So you point out that this person, although he or she is registered, but we buried him or her the other day, please, that name must be removed. Then thirdly, you know, we have so many non-citizens in our country. This country is very hospitable. And I thank the people of Uganda for showing Ubuntu, because we accept non-Ugandans to live in our midst. Now, some of them might get excited and get registered. Oh, I'm told some people, actually, there are some, you know, Ugandans. Some people are trying to register people who don't qualify. Maybe they are children, not yet 18 years. Maybe they could be non-citizens. They say, hey, you come and register, then you vote for me. So the purpose of a display is to weed out non-eligible voters. That will going to take place.
So the memories of the past election are still fresh in people's minds. Intimidation, a lot of bribery, and all the post-election, disputes. Do you have confidence that people will actually participate in this election?
Oh, they are going to. Canara, you wait. Yesterday was day one of the registration process. I saw on some channels, TV channels, in the news, the queues. People are queuing to get registered. People are already, the vibe is already picked up. So to me, the first day is a clear indication that people have embraced these elections enthusiastically. They want to register as much as possible. So I want to believe, going by what we saw in 2018, you remember the elections of 2018 occurred after a long lull of non-elections for these positions, after about 16 years. And there were fears that the manner of elections lining up, that is archaic, that is here disenfranchises some of these vulnerable voters, like women, elderly people. A woman may not feel comfortable voting for not voting for a husband who is also contesting, because this woman knows the administrative capacities of the husband. She may say, I cannot vote for. Will she go and line for another candidate? All these things were raised. But on polling day, everybody was amazed. All those pundits who had raised all these concerns and all these issues.
So knowing all these controversies and issues that have come up because of lining up, what sort of control mechanisms have you put in place for transparency?
Well, first of all, we must sensitize the people. Do the people embrace this process? And look, as I said the other day, these councils, committees are extremely vital in the day-to-day lives of our day-to-day lives. Because let me tell you, whoever you are, however big you are, however high you are, your residence, unless you stay in the skies up there. But if you stay on this earth, you stay in a village. And therefore, the law has said that each village must have an executive committee headed by the chairperson and other members. Okay? And secondly, that is this committee which will sit to deliberate